This is Standing Watch. And now, Evangelist Norbert Link.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to our Standing Watch program. Today I'd like to refer to two very interesting developments, one having to do with Great Britain, the other one having to do with the Catholic Church, and I will show you that there is a connection which perhaps at first sight we might not really be able to see. But the first thing I want to talk about is Pope Francis and the fact that the EU has given him the Charlemagne Prize. Now, you may or may not know what the Charlemagne Prize is. It's given to outstanding personalities who have done tremendous work, have made tremendous effort to bring about the unification of Europe. Now, if you look at Pope Francis, you will have to shake your head and you have to say, what did he do when it comes to the unification of Europe? Virtually nothing. And still he got the prize. Why? And what is beyond this prize? What is it which is so important for us in the Church of God, those who understand the Bible, why it is so important for us to realize what's happening? Let me first of all read to you from Deutsche Welle, dated May 6, saying this: Since 1950, the Charlemagne Prize, or Karlspreis in German, has been awarded to personalities and institutions that have rendered outstanding services to the unification of Europe. The first winners included former British Prime Minister Winston Churchill and longtime German Chancellor Konrad Adenauer. On Friday, Pope Francis became the 58th recipient of the award. And Friday marked only the second time that the prestigious prize was awarded outside of Aachen town hall in Western Germany. In 2004, it was awarded to severely ill Pope John Paul II, again in the Vatican, where he received the extraordinary Charlemagne Prize for his role in the collapse of Eastern Europe's communist regimes. Now, you could say, well, that makes at least somewhat sense that he would have gotten it, but why Pope Francis? AFP wrote on May 6. Some will joke that the European Union must be in a bad way if it is in need of papal assistance. The EU Parliament President Martin Schulz wrote, and also the European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker. We are convinced, they say, that Pope Francis deserves this prize, however, simply because he has sent Europe a message of hope. So he has done nothing but sending them a message of hope. What was the message of hope? To accept more and more migrants into Europe. Goes on to say, after all, at times when the words Europe and crisis are often uttered in the same breath, it is easy to forget that what Europe has achieved and what it is capable of. Now, here's the interesting thing. So they are turning to the Catholic Church. They are turning to Pope Francis for help. That's really what it's about. On May 5, Deutsche Welle wrote this about Karlspreis, this Charlemagne Prize. The prize is named for Charlemagne, or Charles the Great, the Holy Roman Emperor, who is also referred to as the Father of Europe. Charlemagne created an empire with an efficient administration across what's today Western Europe by means of brutal force and bloody wars, like that waged against the pagan Saxons. He built the foundation for a European identity. Aachen was his imperial capital. Through the 16th century, this was where German kings were crowned. Charlemagne had close, mutually beneficial ties to the Holy See. In Rome on Christmas Day in the year 800, Pope Leo III crowned the king as the first Western European emperor. Just a year earlier, Charles had saved the Pope from being toppled by political adversaries. The interdependence between the empire and the papacy was to influence European politics for centuries to come. And Pope Francis accepted the prize, and he made some very interesting comments. He said that the Catholic Church must play her part in the rebirth of Europe. He again talked about the rebirth of Europe, saying that the Church can and must play her part. Her task is one with her mission, the proclamation of the gospel. This was actually published by Zenit, a Catholic paper. And then another statement was made by another source saying that the Pope stated that this witness of the gospel, the way the Catholic Church looks at that, not the way the Bible defines it. But he said this witness must also include efforts towards full Christian unity. So what we are seeing here is a Europe is going to be created. That's the goal of those politicians and the Pope and the Catholic Church, bringing about a unified Europe under Catholic unified rule. And those who are not in agreement with the Catholic Church's doctrine will find themselves out of that unity. Exactly what the Bible prophesies. If you have any questions about this, about the fact that you will see a unification between the Catholic Church and European countries in Western Europe, especially in continental Europe, we have a free booklet about the European revivals of the ancient Roman Empire. And that booklet is telling you that this collaboration has occurred in the past and that it is going to happen one more time in the future with devastating consequences. In fact, we read that another world war is going to happen and to occur. And when this unification between the European states, 10 of them, or 10 groups of nations, and the Catholic Church has become a reality, has come to fruition, then World War III is going to start. The Bible makes this very clear. And England, the United Kingdom, will not be part of that unification. And notice what now David Cameron said. Now, I'm not sure that David Cameron knew what he was saying, understood the full, complete significance of what he was saying, but it almost sounds like he was inspired to say it, without even knowing himself what he was saying. The Mirror wrote on May 9, David Cameron has pleaded for Britain to stay in the EU to help prevent the continent being ripped apart by another conflict. And he said if Britain would get out of the EU, this would or could at least trigger World War III. You know what, my friends? That's exactly what the Bible says. It is exactly what the Bible says. When the UK is out of Europe, very shortly thereafter, World War III will begin. That's another book that we have published, The Fall and Rise of Britain and America. These two booklets you should absolutely read because they are so significant in the light of what is happening right now, in front of our very eyes. Are you aware of what is happening, prophetically speaking? Are you watching for the truth to be unfolded? Or are you sidetracked by all kinds of different things which are really not that significant? Please ask for free copies of our two booklets, and please study them very carefully, and please find out where we are in the panorama of biblical prophecy. Thank you very much for listening. This is Norbert Link for the Standing Watch program.
Standing Watch is a presentation by The Church of the Eternal God, P.O. Box 270519, San Diego, California 92198. More information is also available at our website, eternalgod.org.